Hey there, this is Matt once again, and welcome back to another collection video. Seems quite a few people liked what I did with the Lou Diamond Phillips video, so why not do another one on a random actor? This time, Wesley Snipes. Since not too long ago I reviewed the Blade films, I figured why not show the rest of my films that I have, which do feature Wesley Snipes, which he was in jail for a while for tax evasion, which is pretty shitty considering there are people. On a side note, that's one of the things that bothers me about Victor Salva, the director of Jeepers Creepers, because people would say, oh, he did his time. The motherfucker did less time in jail than Wesley Snipes, and Wesley Snipes just fucked with taxes, not with kids. So that's one thing that pissed me off about that, but that's a different video. But Wesley Snipes, he's had his ups and downs. Thankfully, he came back. Sadly, he was in the Expendables 3. And then, lately, he hasn't really done much. I mean, these really shitty direct-to-video films like Armed Response, which he's not even really the main star, even though the poster will tell you. It's more Anne Heche's movie. And like The Recall, which are just these lame-ass fucking films. But back to the day, he was in a film called Wildcats, which I haven't seen the whole thing all the way through. Streets of Gold, which I haven't seen. He had a cameo in Critical Condition, which I do have that film, but I don't know. That's more a Richard Pryor film. He's in there as ambulance driver. He was in the Michael Jackson music video Bad. And then one of his first roles was in this movie, Major League, which weirdly enough, they don't really advertise it on the DVD, which is fucked up, because you would think, hey, Wesley Snipes, he's in this film. He's not on the back or the front, even though he's part of the team. And he's probably a more recognizable name than even Corbin Burnson, and he's one of the main stars. He didn't come back for the sequel. Omar Epps played him. But yeah, on the back, Charlie Sheen, Corbin Burnson, Margaret Whitten, James Damon, Rene Russo, and Bob Uecker as Harry Doyle. But I do enjoy this film. This is a very fun comedy. The sequel's not that good. Definitely stepped down from the first one. And the third one I haven't seen all the way through with Scott Bakula. But the first Major League is a very entertaining comedy. That actually does have some features, which is nice. Considering it's Paramount, who I call pair pricks. Fucking hate Paramount. But yeah, it's shocking they give this any kind of features. Because Paramount, they won't give the Golden Child features. They won't give shitload of other movies features. But I just go a whole hour rant on how much I fucking hate Paramount. Major League, very fun comedy. Wesley Snipes is the player on the team who loves to steal bases. And there's even a point where he has like a collection of gloves which represents every base he stole. I remember the fake commercial the team did. Credit card, and Wesley Snipes does his slide. Never leave home without it. Yeah. Despite the cover, Wesley Snipes is one of the stars of this movie. Like, they don't even feature him on the back. They're just fucked up. He was in Mo Better Blues, which I haven't seen. King of New York. I've seen bits and pieces of King of New York, and the trailer was really cool too. New Jack City, and a lot of people recommended that. I haven't seen it though. I've seen bits and pieces. Jungle Fever. I think that's Spike Lee. I'm not a big Spike Lee guy. And of course, I reviewed this film as well. White Men Can't Jump, which I have the DVD of, which had a re-edited with deleted scene, music video, White Men Can't Jump by Riff, trailer, and a TV spot. Review of this is up. I enjoy this film a lot. I think it's a great comedy. And also, thanks to a very nice person, I have the Blu-ray, which has the music video, the trailers, TV spot, and you can pick which version of the film you see, but it's just one deleted scene is a difference. between the two versions. Not really enough to have two versions of the fucking film on one Blu-ray, but yeah, still love the film. Should have interviews. Woody Harrelson, Wesley Snipes, interviews. Hell, even a commentary with the two of them together. But what do I know? The White Man Can Jump, very fun comedy. And since I'm on that, I did review this film too. Money Train, entertaining film, fun flick. Don't think it's nearly as bad as the reputation it gets. You also have Jennifer Lopez, directed by Joseph Rubin. This is a pretty good flick. Again, if you're interested, I did a review of this film as well. One of the films after White Man Can't Jump that really put him on the map is, once I find the movie, what the hell, I do have the film. I forgot the brand because I think it's part of a 4-pack. What the fuck? I know what 4-pack it's with. I'll be right back. I know what 4-pack it's with now. I know. Yeah, I should have just edited that out, but yeah, just popped in there. Passenger 57. I remember now. It was part of this 4-pack with Eraser, The Last Boy Scout, and The Point of No Return, which is pretty much the remake of La Femme Nikita, but this time directed by John Badham. But Passenger 57 is a film it's grown on me. I used to not be a big fan of it back in the day, but as the years have gone on, I like this film. I think back in the day, I thought, in a weird way, it was almost too short. It felt too short. It felt like there's not enough done on the plane. Because the good chunk of the third act is they've landed and they're in sort of a fair, or like a fairground. I thought there was going to be more stuff on the plane. I don't know why. Maybe because around the same time I saw this, which I didn't see when it first came out, I saw it later. I had seen Air Force One, and I was put Air Force One above this. But again, at the end of the day, I do like this film. Directed by Kevin Hooks. And what was the bad guy's name? The villain was Bruce Payne. You also have Tom Sizemore. But yeah, Passenger 57, it's a fun flick. You ever play roulette? Always bet on black. Great line. And then we have this film, which is a piece of shit. I do still think it's a piece of shit. Boiling Point, because this is false advertising, this cover and the trailer. Because this makes it seem like it would be, I don't know, Dirty Harry, but with Wesley Snipes. You would think. He's a cop who's reached the boiling point. There's Wesley Snipes with a gun ready to blow your face off. But honestly, this feels less like a Wesley Snipes film and more Dennis Hopper's movie, who is this thief who has an accomplice played by Viggo Mortensen, and Dennis Hopper dealing with his sort of girlfriend, and dealing with this accomplice by Viggo Mortensen. It just seemed more Dennis Hopper's movie than Wesley Snipes' movie. And this is not much of an action movie. This is more of a crime drama, a little bit of a thriller. But the way the trailer and the marketing makes it seem, Snipes, his character's tough, proud, married to his job, and not above stretching the law to smoke out his partner's killers. But yeah, this is, if you're going into this thinking it's going to be full-out action film. Like Passenger 57 is an action film. This one is more of a crime drama thriller. I mean, and yet Wesley Snipes doesn't feel like the main focus. He seems more focus of Dennis Hopper. So, I am not a fan of Boiling Point. Disappointing flick, to say the least. But I have it for the Wesley Snipes collection. And then this one is a little bit better than Boiling Point, but it's okay at best. Rising Sun. Again, not really an action film. It's more of a mystery, a little bit of thriller, where Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes team up with each other. You also have Tia Carrera, Terihayuki Tagawa, he was Shane's son in Mortal Kombat. He was in Showdown Little Tokyo. Mako, who was in Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer. Harvey Keitel. It's directed by Philip Kaufman. The film feels pretty long. It is 139 minutes, so yeah. 2 hours and 19 minutes. No, 129 minutes. I can't read. 129 minutes. I was saying, wait, it wasn't 2 hours and 20. Yeah, 2 hours and 9 minutes. Yeah, 2 hour and 9 minute movie. This did not need to be. There's at least 15, 20 minutes you could cut out of this flick, in my opinion. Of course, Tribune Media Services feel it's so sexy. If you say so. The cast is a reason why I can watch this as a time waster at best, because, hey, Sean Connery, Wesley Snipes, like Harvey Keitel and so forth. But yeah, the cast makes this a time waster for me, but I remember just being an overlong, wishing it had more action to it. But that's Rising Sun. But I would rather watch this in Boiling Point, I know that. Now, I reviewed this when I did my Sylvester Stallone marathon, where I reviewed pretty much all of his movies. Demolition Man. Definitely, I would say the best film Wesley Snipes has been in. For a film that he's a star in, I would say Blade and Blade 2, but a movie that he's in, period, I would say Demolition Man. Love this movie to death. I did a review for this film, and if you want, feel free to check out that review. This is a movie that deserves so much more features. I want to see deleted scenes. I want to see the Stallone and Jesse Ventura fight scene. I want to see new interviews. Damn. Get some water. Sorry about that. But yeah, Demolition Man, if you're interested, I have a review of this, as well as the majority of Stallone's movies reviewed on a playlist on my channel. Love Demolition Man. Let's see. He did a film called Sugar Hill, which I haven't seen. I guess maybe I've heard of the film. And then I got this a while ago, and as you can see, I haven't opened it yet. I've seen the film before, and I got this. I don't remember how the fuck I got this. Did someone send this to me? Or did I don't remember now. It's been so long. I don't know if someone sent this to me, or if I found it for very cheap. And it's, oh, it's brand new too, so I'll pick it up. I don't remember how the fuck I got this movie. It's been so long. This is a film I want to give another look. I just haven't opened it in case whatever I do a Wesley Snipes marathon. But the thing is, nowadays, when I want to do a marathon, I would like to have as many of the movies as possible physically, because my internet Mediacom is an asshole and will really fuck with you if you try to watch movies online and such, so I don't really do much of that anymore. And I don't, and I don't have like extra funds to just go out and buy random movies. So maybe if I do a marathon, I'll just do a marathon on the movies I own, just so I don't want to get in trouble or anything. Because again, the internet servers I have, they're very they're even more adamant on that than nowadays than before. So maybe I'll just like review the ones I have. But Drop Zone, I want to give another watch. It was directed by John Badham, who did War Games and The Hard Way and Short Circuit, Saturday Night Fever. You also have Gary Busey as the villain. I just remember not being too impressed with the film. I just remember it being okay at best, but I want to give this another watch, Drop Zone. 2-1 Fu I don't have. I saw it once long ago. Money Train I showed. And then we have a Tony Scott film, The Fan. This is a pretty good thriller. Wesley Snipes is a baseball player. Robert De Niro is an obsessed fan who really wants his team, especially his favorite player, to do well and win. You also have John Leguizamo, Benicio del Toro, and Ellen Barkin. Good cast, great score by Hans Zimmer. He did a wonderful job on the music. And this is a pretty good thriller that nobody really talks about, but The Fan. That's a lot better than The Fan that has Michael Biehn in it, which is not exactly the same as this, but it's also about an obsessed fan, but that doesn't deal with sports or anything. I definitely remember this poster here. I wouldn't say it's unforgettable, like Scott Patrick of KUSA TV, whatever the fuck that is. It's not unforgettable, but it's a pretty good flick. Pretty good thriller. But that's The Fan. Let's see. Oh, then he did, I would say, one of my favorite Wesley Snipes movies, Murder at 1600. I would say this is in my top 5 Wesley Snipes movies. Directed by Dwight Little, who did Rapid Fire with Brandon Lee. He did Halloween 4, which is a pretty good sequel. Rapid Fire with Brandon Lee is great. I did a fan commentary with my friend Effrey on that movie. You have Diane Lane, Alan Alda, Ronnie Cox, Dennis Miller. So yeah, you have a really good cast. The score is alright. Christopher Young, who did the score, did the first 2 Hellraiser movies. He did the music for this. And yeah, this is a good blend of action and thriller dealing with a murder at the White House. They did a lot of these White House movies around this time. You had The Shadow Conspiracy with Charlie Sheen, directed by George P. Cosmatos, which sadly, it's George P. Cosmatos who did Leviathan, Rambo 2, Tombstone, of Unknown Origin. Shadow Conspiracy is like his worst film. It was his last film, but it was his worst film. Then you have Absolute Power with Clint Eastwood, which I wasn't a big fan of. I found that a bit boring. I think there were a few others, but I remember this one being one of the better ones of that. Yeah, I think the cast worked well. It moved at a good pace, kept me interested to see what would happen next. Then the cast worked well, too. They worked very well together. And yeah, I like these cases, the cardboard. They feel more sturdy. They feel more durable. They stopped doing that after a while. I know a lot of people hate these cardboard, but I love these. They look good on a shelf because they don't wobble. They stay there, very durable. I like these. Usually, I think usually just Warner Brothers that did these. So cardboard, but again, I like them. Let's see. One Night Stand I haven't seen. And, oh yeah, we have this movie. The sequel to The Fugitive, U.S. Marshals. Tommy Lee Jones starring again as Sam Gerard, the Marshal. Well, the title says it there. Robert Downey Jr., which I know there's something on IMDb that said this is like one of the worst movies ever. I'm sorry, Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man 3, I think, is more of a shitty film than this movie. Sorry, Robert Downey Jr. And then Wesley Snipes as the Fugitive this time. This is a good flick. This is a film not as good as The Fugitive, but I think it's a pretty good sequel. Easily the best film Stuart Bayer directed. I think he also did Star Trek Nemesis, which I ranted on. I hated that flick. Once again, one issue with the movie, a little bit of the pacing. It's 131 minutes. So, 2 hours and 11 minutes. I know The Fugitive was lengthy as well, but I would say that has a better pace in this film. And Wesley Snipes, I think, does a good job. His story isn't as interesting to me as the innocent doctor that got fucked over, Harrison Ford's character. While this one, it deals more with he was some kind of agent and backstabbed by the CIA or FBI or KFC, whatever the fuck it was. But still has some good stunt work, really good performances. Tommy Lee Jones does a stellar job. Nice support work from Wesley Snipes, Robert Downey Jr., also Joe Pantoliano, who's one of the team. He was in the first movie. Still, I think a good flick. Solid flick. And I reviewed these, so I might as well show these. The Blade films. Love the first one. Love the second one. Third one I thought was a piece of shit. This is another wonderful gift I got. Thanks to that person if you're watching. Again, I have reviews for all three of these on my channel. Then you have, which I can't believe this got a sequel, but you have The Art of War. One of the last theatrical, well, not really. I would almost say, in his heyday, one of the last theatrical, this and Blade 2. And then, but then like, well, he did Undisputed, and then a few years later, Blade Trinity, so not exactly. But The Art of War came around 2000. Michael Biehn from Aliens is in this, and Archer, Karihayuki Tagawa, which they were both in Rising Sun, Donald Sutherland, written by Christian Duguay. I think that's the same guy who did Streamers with Peter Weller. I could be wrong. So there's a couple of decent action bits and style to it. This is not that bad of a movie, The Art of War. I think if you're a Wesley Snipes fan, this is worth at least one watch. It's not one of his best, but still a pretty decent flick. Once again, one of those Warner Brothers cardboard, which I like. Wesley Snipes is a covert op. He gets framed. He has to prove his innocence. I remember there being some good stunt work and some decent fights, and this is pretty decent. Yeah, pretty good flick. I would put more than decent. Kinetic wall-to-wall action movie, says Kurt Honeycutt, Chicago Sun-Times. But that film didn't do well, so I don't know how the fuck this got a sequel. I know there's 3 of these movies. The third one does not have Wesley Snipes in it, but the second one does. So yeah. Of all the movies, this is the one that gets a sequel. The Art of War 2. Well, Blade got sequels, but not many of his films. It's not like you got Passenger 57 2. It's not like you got White Men Can't Jump 2, but you got The Art of War 2. The Betrayal. This is a movie I barely remember, other than it's a pretty damn cheap direct-to-video flick. Forgettable flick. Yeah, definitely you tell the production value went way down for this one. An adrenaline-injected thrill ride? Nah, not really. Comes out of hiding to avenge his former mentor's murder. He's on the trail of betrayal and lethal corruption. He's been framed, again. Now he's letting the fist fly where they may to get to the bottom of an assassination conspiracy that everyone thinks he's behind. So, you know, The Art of War 2. And this is... He did a couple films I haven't seen, but I've heard of. Liberty Stand Still, Zig Zag. Undisputed, I saw long ago. I fucking hated. That's why I don't own the movie. And he did this. This is where he really started doing these direct-to-video stuff. Which, a lot of them have like the in it. I mean, really lame shit. I mean, you had Unstoppable, which if you want to see a better Unstoppable, watch the one with Denzel Washington, but you have this one. You can't stop the man who will stop at nothing. Former Special Ops soldier. He's injected with a mind-controlling drug, making him susceptible to the power of any suggestion. Which is weird. I remember seeing this film. I don't remember much of that shit going on. He's in search for the antidote. Can't remember much about this, which I guess says something. But Unstoppable, which I don't even know what the fuck the title even deals with the movie. It's not like, yeah, I injected with something. They made him a Superman. Unremarkable. Call it that. Then we did To the Thus. The Contractor. And like a friend of mine said, so many fucking times this guy wears sunglasses. The Contractor. Which... deadly assassin who finds himself on the run when an attempt to kill a terrorist mastermind in London goes terribly wrong. You also have Lena Headey, who was the villain in Dread, and she was on Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles. Charles Dance is in this as well. The Contractor. Then you have The Marksman. No, The Detonator. Once again, sunglasses. What was this one? He's an undercover CIA agent to expose an arms dealer. Lands himself in prison, quickly released by the CIA, only to be given a new mission to escort a beautiful Russian woman back to the U.S. And she's being hunted by the very arms dealer they intended to destroy. So you got The Detonator. The fate of thousands is in their hands. William Hope from Aliens. He played Gorman. He's in this film. Then you have 7 Seconds. Once again with the fucking sunglasses. That literally looks like the outfit of Blade. Timing is everything. Professional Thief. Caper goes wrong. A lot of times it's something going wrong or something fucking up. He's an ex-Delta Force commando leading what should have been a clockwork perfect armored car heist. He ends up with a priceless painting, and one of his crew ends up held hostage by the sadistic Russian gangsters who muscled in on the heist. And then mention the directors, Simon Fellows. That one I do recognize. I think he's done some Van Damme stuff as well. But 7 Seconds. That's how long you remember this movie after you see it. 7 seconds. Oh, no sunglasses on this one. The Marksman. An elite U.S. Special Forces operative. He's been ordered to take out a Chechen nuclear power plant before terrorists set off a live reactor. He indicates the target for an American missile strike and makes his escape. But when he discovers it's the missiles and not the terrorists that will ignite the device. He realizes he's been set up. See, he's always getting set up. Or he's getting framed. Fucking pattern here. He got set up and framed in U.S. Marshal. He gets set up in, here. He gets framed in the Art of War 1 and 2. Common theme here. Marksman. Who directed this? 2 people. No, 1. Marcus Adams. Don't know who the hell that is. Let's see. He also did this film, which I know this was sent to me, Chaos, which has Jason Statham and Wesley Snipes, as well as Ryan Philippe. And even though it has Jason Statham and Wesley Snipes, they don't get a fucking fight scene together. You would think Jason Statham and Wesley Snipes have a fight scene. Nope. They don't get a fight scene with each other. Even though Jason Statham's supposed to be one of the two good guy cops along with Ryan Philippe, and they're chasing down Wesley Snipes, who's the criminal. But you have these twists and turns, and Ryan Philippe is the main star, and that was one of the biggest fuck-ups he did movie. Tony Giglio, who wrote and directed this. And this actually has features, weirdly enough. I would give away the twist, but maybe people want to see it for themselves. This was something a family member sent me because they know I'm a fan of Sylvester Stallone. So they sent me this. So now I have this, but hey, it's a gift from a family member, and it's for the collection, so hey. I talked about this in my Stallone marathon. Before that, you had this, Game of Death, nothing to do with the Bruce Lee movie. This has Gary Daniels in it, who I remember an interview where he was really disappointed with this film because him and Wesley were shooting this fight scene, and the idiot directors and editors edited the fight to shit so you couldn't see anything. I remember there was some interview Gary Daniels was pissed off about that. It was a written interview. You also have Ernie Hudson, Zoe Bell, who's in Death Proof with Quentin Tarantino. She was the stout woman who got on the front of the car. You also have Robert Davi from Maniac Cop 2 and 3. And yeah, Gary Daniels is one of the villains. They did a fight scene, but it looks like shit because the director is an idiot. NewYorkPost.com's pop rap. Jarrett. A kick-ass action film that actually kicks ass. No. More like it kisses ass. As in it could kiss my ass. This movie sucks. I remember it being pretty damn disappointing considering Snipes' best performance since the Blade trilogy. TheCelebrityCafe.com. What the fuck is the Celebrity Cafe? The fuck is that? Bullshit. And then that's pretty much it for the Wesley Snipes collection. Because after this, he did Gallow Walkers, which I've seen bits and pieces, but not all the way through. It sounds disappointing. Brooklyn's Finest, which I've heard of but I haven't seen. Hard Luck I haven't seen. Arm Response I saw long ago online. I barely remember it. Other than being pretty bad, and I didn't like what they did with Wesley Snipes' character. It felt like Anne Heche was really the main hero of the movie, main lead. And The Recall, I haven't seen. It seems like a really shitty alien invasion film where Wesley Snipes is in it for like 10 minutes. And it's like all these no-name kids starring in it. But yeah, that's my Wesley Snipes collection. I would definitely say my favorites would be the Blade films. Well, that he's in. Demolition Man, the Blade films, White Men Can't Jump. Well, Blade 1 and 2, I should say. Like Demolition Man, Blade 2, Blade, Murder 1600, White Men Can't Jump would be up there, Money Train would be up there. So, as far as I can remember, the worst one, other than Expendables 3, but I don't know, these direct-to-video films are pretty damn bad. I mean, I don't like Boiling Point, but even I dislike that film, but that's better than some of these direct-to-video flicks like The Detonator or The Contractor or Unstoppable or that Armed Response one I talked about. Chaos is really shitty. So, but I guess that's my Wesley Snipes collection and discussion video. See you guys later. Stay tuned for more videos.